Hey, 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 welcome to the High Noon Green Nurse Holistic Caring Signature Event webcast on professional development. Basically, bottom line, it's the Green Nurse podcast where we bring hope and inspiration for growth and healing. We are truly here to change the dialogue and stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. So while we're waiting for people to pop on, I just want to say to everyone, happy endocannabinoid system day. Happy 420. You know, 420 means a lot to a lot of different people, but for me, it means freedom, right? Freedom from pills, procedures, freedom to use plant medicines to manage symptoms, as well as health and wellness, tool to live a high quality of life. No pun intended. So happy 420 to everyone out there that's celebrating. And today's High Noon webcast is on professional development, and it's brought to you by Wide Awake Business and Holistic Caring and the Green Nurse. But before we get started, here's a little video about what we do in the cannabis space as nurses. And then as soon as we watch that, what we will do is get started in our interview.
Change the paradigm of healthcare.
The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I'm the founder of Holistic Caring. We're based here in California, and we do educational programs and case management for patients on how to use cannabis therapeutically as a medicine.
We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high, hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing.
As the founder of Holistic Caring, I basically oversee the whole ship, and what we're doing is progressive education.
Cannabis actually supports all 11 organ systems, our immune system, and all the neurotransmitter signaling systems that give messages to tell our body to either do something or not do something. Because the plant was prohibited, it prevented health professionals, doctors and nurses from learning about cannabis as medicine.
I want to change the paradigm of healthcare and us paving the way into a new vanguard of medicine. And I'm excited to really bring this into light. There's a company called Canum that we're merging with, and we will now be doing global education.
It's about education, it's about empowerment, it's about teaching people how to feel good, bridging the gap from what they're not getting from traditional medicine, utilizing different plant medicines, adaptogens, tips, tricks, hugs, and nugs of information to support and nourish the most important system in our body.
And it's a lot of soul work, a lot of love, a lot of discipline, and meditation. I'm using my life work as a testimony to others to learn how they can be their own hero and then go help heal the world.
And we are, as nurses, the game changers. All right, so think about that. Growing in health, growing in cannabis, and how about growing your business, right? So nurses, nurse coaches, entrepreneurs, small businesses, right? This podcast is for you. So I'm really excited to introduce Chris Williams. She is the CEO and founder of Wide Awake Business. Chris is an expert in generating customers and boosting revenue for small to medium-sized businesses. She is a sought-after international speaker, business consultant, and best-selling author. Chris applies the sales systems and strategies she developed in her corporate career to support business owners in a wide range of industries around the globe, resulting in more customers and higher revenues. Chris's style connects and encourages action, making businesses easier, simpler, and more profitable. So I'm really excited to dive into this interview and promote, Chris, your upcoming class in June. And I put a link, and there's also a link in the notes about the Holistic Health Coach Business Summit scheduled to start on June 14th. So Chris, welcome to the show. Really, really excited to have you. Professional development is so important in the cannabis space, and for health coaches in particular, because we're in new territory. This has never been done before. And so we really want to guide and direct our coaches and entrepreneurs, to be successful. And I know for a fact that I wish I had your service around when I was starting in the cannabis space, for sure. So welcome.
Thank you, Sherri, and thanks for that sweet introduction. And you guys are doing some incredible work, well needed. Oh my goodness, where were you 10 years ago?
I know. Listen, I'll tell you what, I was figuring it out. Cannabis came into my life, when I was sick and suffering back in 2012, and literally there were no nurses or coaches. There were medical card writers. And, once I got the card, it was then, now what? And so we are the now what. We're the now what to teach. People are making great medicines. People are selling these great cannabis formulations, but no one is truly educating patients how to use cannabis as medicine. That's what we do. So really, really excited. And because not only are we working with patients and teaching them on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of plant medicines, but we're working with coaches, we're working with clinicians, we're working with health professionals across the globe. And so there's a lot of different factors that go into working in the cannabis space, working as a health coach, and especially starting a new business as an entrepreneur. So what I really love is some of these questions. I mean, I was blown away by this. So when I was doing some research and investigating you before we had this interview, you've worked with over 6,000 clients and have increased their overall revenue by 731 million.
I know that sounds like a lot.
but it is a lot, because it shows that what you do has an impact on businesses. And so, as we get started on this, I like to bottom line it. What would you say, honestly, are the 3 top things every business owner must know?
Okay, that's a great question. And I just want to say one little thing about the 6,000 clients and the $731 million.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting. One day we were working with one of our mentors and he said, well, what do you do for your clients? And we didn't really know the answer. So he literally kicked us out of his office. We went back to the hotel. We called our assistant and said, start adding up all the revenue we've helped them create. And so then we made a decision very early on that our clients were our product. And so we measure their success, because if they don't have success, we're not doing our job. So anyway, I just wanted to give a little segue to that because that was a huge learning. So the 3 things I think businesses need to have is they absolutely need a plan. And for all of you business owners who are renegades, it's not an option. You have to have some kind of a plan that you're following, and not just for you, but if you bring anybody on, you must be able to give them the plan to tell them where you're going. The next one is some sort of support, either a coach, a consultant, a mentor, somebody to, what I would like to say, who's done it more, bigger, better than you have. I mean, we all have coaches, you guys have coaches, we do. And the way, how could we grow our business if I don't know somebody who's doing it bigger and better? And then the next one is leadership. And I'm always growing my leadership. And there's lots of different ways you can grow your leadership, and learning how to use empathy and curiosity, which are our 2 buzzwords for leadership, is so important. So a plan, support, and leadership.
I really like that. And when I think about the interesting thing about empathy and curiosity, right? So what I think about, and I think it's really important for business owners to think about this, is what do your clients want and need? That's what your goal is. You want to bring it to them. You want to bring to clients what they want and need, not what you think they need, but what they want and need. And so that empathy is what? Stepping back and trying to see behind their eyes, right? How are they viewing the world? How are they viewing their business? And the curiosity is stimulating their curiosity to start to think about things in a different way, right?
Right. Well,
really important. I love this.
Right.
Mhm.
And I think that that whole idea of curiosity is entering into every conversation as if
Yeah,
you don't know. And what is the
right.
question? And it always reminds me of, I don't know how many of you have kids, but I have 5 of them. And it always reminds me when they were like 13, 14, 15. If I didn't enter into every one of those conversations with curiosity, they never would have told me all that they said. So
Right.
it's like raising kids, raising a
Yeah.
business.
Raising a business. Absolutely. Well, the other thing I'm really excited to announce is that you just launched your third Amazon bestseller book. I think it's amazing. Rise Up Leader. Right. So this is important. And this goes into your three things, support, coaching, mentorship, having a plan, and leadership, how you grow your leadership. So tell me a little bit about the book and the thought that went into writing the book. Because I love all of this. This is really important
Well,
for business
that's
development.
fun. So it's actually so it's our third book, and this one became an Amazon bestseller in 5 hours in 4 countries and 23 categories. It kind of blew our socks off. And if you look at the front logo or the cover design, it's an arrow pointing upwards with all these people like climbing into the arrow. And if you look at it really closely, and as we're designing, I don't know how many of you have designed a book cover. It's super hard. How do you take what's in your brain and make it into a picture? Not my expertise. And when you look really closely, they're all different walks of life. There's nurses and
Right.
doctors and bakers and everybody, construction workers, because the truth is it is a perfect time for all of us to rise up and lead. And that's what you
Right.
and Elizabeth are doing, Sherri, is you're asking people to come on, let's stand up and be
Get on the
counted.
bus. Yeah.
Right.
The rise, sister, rise. Absolutely. Get on the bus. We are in, evolutionary times where we are truly changing how we approach and take care of patients. The future of healthcare is patient empowerment, and we are here. We want to empower our clinicians, the practitioners, all the people that are out there that are interested in cannabis education and how they can apply this into what they're currently doing in the conventional system or in their practices on the side. So yeah,
Right.
I love
Right.
that. And yeah. So what I really like too, about that book is that, when you are evolving as an entrepreneur, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's really learning about being fluid, about having to shift and pivot and building resilience to change because
I
and
love that.
open, right? Yeah.
It's
So
all about that. It's all about all of those things. The book is done in workbook format, so you can read a
mhm.
chapter. It's on here's one of the things I've learned over the past couple of years is how much values plays into our world as a business owner.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when I'm hiring, I ask values questions, and if they don't match my values or the corporate values,
Mm.
I don't even get them
Yeah.
past the first 15 minutes of the interview. It either is or it's not. And
Right.
I've learned a lot about building culture. And so in that book, everything is tried and true. We've tried it,
Yeah.
we've done it, we've used it with either clients or ourselves. And we're pretty excited about it.
I love it. I really do. And it just reminds me too of what we're trying to do too, is how we build a corporate culture, how we build a culture of clinicians, patients. And that's why Elizabeth created the ecosystem at Holistic Caring, is to bring like-minded groups of people that are here to change the paradigm of healthcare. And it incorporates everyone, all practitioners, patients, people that have been impacted by plant medicine and want to include it. So yeah, values are really, really important as we start to, branch off and bring in other clinicians and other businesses to build. It really needs to be in alignment, right? Values, alignment. Do we resonate? Are our thoughts, is our mission, is our vision in alignment? And if not, can we
Right.
continue to work together?
Right.
Right? If not, right? So, because it's important, because as you're putting in all this passion and love into what you you know, do what you love what you do. It's interchangeable. You have, like I said, you're right. You have to think about your integrity, your values, your morals, how you want to show up in the world. Can you go down, close your eyes at night and be happy with how you had your day? And all of that plays into building a business, you know. and it's just like with healthcare, right? We talk about THC, total healthcare, bio, psychosocial, spiritual healing. Very similar to building a business. You have to look at multiple components. And so I really, really am excited to actually get your book, because I'm reading a book called Rise, Sister Rise, and it's about
Oh, that's
spirituality
great. Uh-huh.
and business building. So, Rise Up Leader, it's just the parallel,
Right.
incorporating, spiritual principles into how we build our businesses is really important.
Well, the hard
So
copy book will be out in May. Right now, you can just
excellent.
get it on Kindle version, but it will be out, and we'll send you a copy because you know
Oh my
the
God.
writers.
I know. And you have to autograph it for me as
Okay, I
well.
can do that.
It'd be great. It would be great. So, one of your main markets, so you have been successfully growing small businesses, and now one of your main markets is healthcare. So how did you get involved in working with entrepreneurs in the healthcare space?
It was kind of a fluke accident. We got invited to do a speaking engagement at Aging Life Care Association way back 7 or 8 years ago. Fell in love with the people, but here's why we fell in love with them. After I met all of them, I came home and I was at a family barbecue and I was looking around the circle at the barbecue. And here's what I noticed: nurse, LCSW, nurse, welder. He wasn't a nurse, but so most of my friends are either LCSWs or work in healthcare some way, somehow. Not all of them, but obviously. So you are my people.
We love that. That's excellent. That's excellent. So that's great. Well, the other thing too is, you also, you know, you said you had a personal health journey, right? And how the health maze was difficult. So, you were sharing that with me earlier. And so you became friends with nurses, social workers, care managers, right? And that impacted you to probably see the value in supporting the amazing entrepreneurs that do want to change healthcare. And that,
Absolutely.
in a, yeah, yeah. So it's interesting, what propels us to move forward and make our choices as we grow and develop our businesses, and in the cannabis space and the health coaching cannabinoid therapeutic space, is we see a lot of clinicians that have come from the space of how this plant has impacted their lives and the people that they live with, and that they and then they enter into the space, and their passion is fueled by that. So I
Well,
just want to say thank you. Go ahead.
I was just going to add a little bit to that because
Sure.
I didn't realize until you were talking earlier this morning. I had cancer 2 years ago, and I didn't know how to advocate for myself. I'm kind of shocked that I didn't know how to advocate, but it was in a world I didn't know. I didn't know what questions to ask, etc. So I have a client who happens to be a care manager, and she coincidentally used to be an oncology nurse for 20 years. So I called her up. She lives not too far away. I called her up and I said, "Oh, Patty, I need some help figuring this out." And so she gave me some quick, easy to-dos. And I told her, I said, they're giving me all these meds, and I've never taken medicine in my entire life, never ever. And I said, they're giving me nausea medicine. And she goes, "Chris, you don't need nausea, just smoke some pot." And it was kind of my first I don't know, it was my first real medical issue. And then I started realizing, oh my gosh, there were some other choices. I mean, when we
Hmm.
were raising kids, we always treated them herbally, always, not with cannabis,
Right.
but we always treated
Right.
them herbally. And so I started, every time I would call her up and I'd go, "What else can I do? Do I need to take these meds? Do I need to take?" So
Right.
she got me out of chemo faster than the medical doctors were willing to do. I was totally healthy, and I came on the other side. And to this day, I thank her. But cannabis was absolutely helpful, because had I not figured that piece out, or she not shared that with me, I would have gone down the path of doing meds. And I think I'm healthier because of it.
Right. Wow. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So, thank you for sharing your story. It's these stories these compelling stories that we share that really help to decrease stigma around healing and helping patients to, feel comfortable trying something new and different. So thank you for sharing.
Not a
So,
problem. My
Chris,
pleasure.
Yeah. So you and I were talking at the conference, and you said that you noticed how many talented nurses and health providers were there who wanted to serve people who really need it. And the business skills, so these business skills. So you've developed this business summit. And I was looking at on the website, looking at everything, and there's 4 classes that are being developed. So what we have here is I have information on, so the Wide Awake business. You founded it in 2004 to deliver unmet needs of smaller businesses and family-owned companies, specifically practical, actionable marketing and sales services that attract new customers, reconnect former clients, and grow business they desire. So basically, you have created this program that we're going to be launching. We put the code in the network. So it's going to be a 4-week summit. And so I want to talk about what the weeks look like, and why you created this. How is this going to help? So someone's watching this. We're going to talk about this. How is this going to help them? Because here we are. We're coaching, we're mentoring, we're helping clinicians and coaches get into this space and learn about the endocannabinoid system. We have a business in a box, which I think is great. But your program actually takes it to the next level. And so what does that look like?
So it's 4 parts, 4 different classes over the course of 2 weeks. So it's a Tuesday, Thursday, begins on June 14th. We work on referral marketing and sales. And, nurses are particularly, they're like, I don't like to sell. I'm like, you nurses sell all the time. You sell somebody on whether or not they need to do this modality, or whether or not they need to go home and rest, or whatever that is, right? So, and I just say the word sales because it makes it so it's an easier word. It's not about making them do something. It's about how do you present it in a way that has empathy and curiosity. We work on financial acumen, because what I've learned about the nurses that we've worked with over the years is financial acumen. It's not that you're not experts at your own personal finances. It's more about how do you set up your business finances so you can take advantage of everything that's out there. Expanding brand visibility. So that's what I noticed at the conference, is that a lot of the nurses were saying, oh, I'm a cannabis nurse. Well, I believe that cannabis is a tool in your tool belt. First, you're a nurse. First, you care for people. And then if they need cannabis, you bring that tool out of your tool belt. So that's the little switch I want to take them on. I want to talk about hiring the right team. We just had a meeting. Our leadership council met this morning, and we were talking about how, where's the gap in your business? And oftentimes we, especially women, have a philosophy that, oh, I can't hire because I can't afford it. Well, you can't afford it, so you can't hire. You can't grow if you don't hire. It's like, it's a circle.
I know,
right? And there's a couple of business gurus that say hire your first person, because by the time you hire them and pay them, you will have the clients. If you don't hire them, you'll never get to that. So we talk about hiring the right team. You'll walk away with a little roadmap to success. We work on critical success factors, what must happen. So some corporate companies might call them key indicators. We think that's a little bit much for what we all do. So we kind of drilled it down to critical success factors. And then, of course, we always work on leadership. So I brought a couple of team members with me who are going to help us present these classes. One is my coach, Paul, and he's worked at Deloitte for many years. He is brilliant when it comes to spreadsheets and how to make them super easy for us all to figure out. And then I'm bringing on Carrie, who worked in home care for, 5 or 6 years. And her last year, she brought in $5 million of home care business. So she really is an expert on creating relationships in the healthcare world. So I think that's going to be super fun. And I don't know if there's anything else.
All right. Well, I think that sounds great. Elizabeth and I will certainly be there. Really, really excited for this. I mean, here's the other thing too. Being an entrepreneur, you never stop learning. So I don't
Right.
care how many years you've been in business, there's always an opportunity to learn something new. So please, please, please take advantage of this summit. I'm going to put the little banner up
Well, and
again,
you guys
wide
have done
awake.
a great job. So usually we sell this class for $710, and Elizabeth and Sherri negotiated with us and got it down for HCN members, $497.
Oh, $497. That was
Yeah,
$420.
no,
I think it's funny.
today's
It's pretty
yeah,
good.
that would have been a good
Yeah.
idea.
No, that would have been fun. But anyways, but it's still a sale, and it's a sale on 420. And who doesn't love a sale on endocannabinoid system day? Boom.
Boom.
So, but here's the other thing I want to ask, because as we start to wrap it up. So in your opinion, what do you see gets in the way of most business owners' success? This is a really good way to wrap it up.
So we did a survey once, and we asked 1,000 of our people in our database what got in their way. The number one or the number three thing was not enough customers. Number two was not enough time. And the number one, guess what it might be?
Oh God, there's so many on my list.
It's yourself. That we get in our way. It's more often about all we need to do is step aside and let the magic work, versus whole, it's kind of like people saying, oh, I don't have time for the class. I don't. And, lots of people say that. And the truth is, when you call them in a year, they're in the same place they were in a year ago. It's like, so if we want to do this and take this out to the world, we have to get more customers.
And we have to do the work. We have to understand, right? Why aren't you have enough clients? Why don't you have enough time? And why are you getting in the way of your success? Right?
Right.
So really, really excited that you're going to be able to offer the summit to coaches, to health professionals, to nurses, to small businesses, to entrepreneurs, because it crossovers. So, definitely join us there. We're very, very excited. So you have a great team of consultants and coaches, and really, really excited for this. And, happy 420, everyone. And did you know that we have a professional directory? And really very, very excited to have Chris Williams in our professional directory.
Nice.
And so the professional directory, yes, they are the best vetted professionals that we've encountered in our many, many years of being in the cannabis space. So the directory actually offers direct listings to our favorite providers for legal advice and practice, business services and coaching, web design, e-commerce, general IT, insurance, social media, general marketing, finance, and accounting. So we provide all of these tools in our professional directory because we've been doing this for a long time, and we want to help people succeed. There's so much work that needs to be done in the cannabis space. And so these hand-selected business partners offer discounts to the Holistic Caring Green Nurse Network members. And, and we're here, like I said, to bring you the best of the best. What we've been doing, Elizabeth and I, over the past 16 years combined, 16 years in the cannabis space together. It is. We've been sourcing out what patients want and need, and we're bringing it to them. And that's what we're doing with clinicians. We're doing the exact same thing. What do you want? What do you need? We're going to figure it out. We're going to bring it to you because everyone deserves to feel good. Everyone deserves to thrive, and everyone deserves to be successful. So with that being said, I'm going to do one last share because I'm very, very excited that Elizabeth is offering that. So my business partner, Elizabeth Mack, she is the CEO and founder of Holistic Caring, where the green nurses are housed. And she's written this amazing book called Cannabis for Health, Become a Coach. A lot of people will say, oh, I don't want to become a coach. Well, guess what? You need to be a coach. You're your own best friend, number one, and no one's more important than you. And so you need to learn about this plant and how to apply it to your own life, number one. Number two, she's having a sale. So we have, this month is autoimmune month, and so educating on autoimmune conditions. We did a webcast podcast last week on cannabis and irritable bowel, inflammatory bowel conditions, and autoimmune conditions. So Elizabeth has written an amazing program called Autoimmune and Cannabis, and she's offering it 25% off for the rest of the month. And the code is immune25. So truly, life is too short to not feel good, and a strong, healthy gut is key to health and happiness, along with a great immune system. So check out holisticcaring.com. And we're very excited for that. And as we wrap up, do you have any other final words for our viewers?
No, Sherri. Oh, I was just going to say, you and Elizabeth have done a great job bringing the awareness, is really what I see that it is, awareness to both cannabis and how valuable nurses and practitioners are who are willing to take on this challenge, really, to share with people that they can advocate for their own health and that there are alternative options, and don't bother asking your doctor because they won't tell you. Yep. That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you. So as we celebrate Endocannabinoid System Day, happy 420. Remember, everyone, there is no one more important than you. You all deserve to feel good. The future of healthcare is patient empowerment. And here, the green nurses at Holistic Caring are here to hold your hand until you're ready to let go. And that's not only for patients that we care for, but providers that come to learn from us. So remember, everyone, it's about living your best life and helping others do the same. Happy 420. We love you.
Bye. Thank you.
We're here to educate and empower patients to make choices that are best for them. We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I was cannabis agnostic for many, many years. And you know, the more research I did, the more I discovered the cannabis is this amazing medicine.
I was told that I had a 4-stage pancreatic cancer. The doctor really told me he couldn't do anything else. He gave me her name and she called me and she came to my house. She started to give me cannabis. My oncologist was puzzled because he couldn't find the cancer anymore.
All of the learning that we get comes from the Green Nurses Group, comes from their support, comes from their guidance. I trust everything that she says.
Simply meet people where they're at. The plant doesn't, stress to grow, so we don't stress to share it. We're healing people.
Cannabis has been used as a medicine for tens upon thousands of years. Here's the big message. Cannabis needs to be federally legal. We need to have laws that are the same across all 50 states that allow access to anyone and everyone who wants to utilize this powerful medicine.